Okay, we are going live. We are now live.
So no swearing, right?
Shit, fuck, pussy ass, bitch are all okay. Try not to say anything too offensive outside of that.
Alright, fair enough.
And also keep it to a minimum if you can.
But yeah, I'm purposely saying all of that at the very beginning of this episode to prove to YouTube's algorithm we are not child friendly.
So am I no longer muted, Brian?
Yes, everyone is now verbal.
Yay.
How dare you mute me?
I'll fuck you. I'll do it again.
No!
Brian, don't I need ammunition?
Yeah, I already gave you ammunition, didn't I?
You have like 20 bolts, so.
Yeah, just give yourself 20 bullets. Here, give me a sec. I'll copy pasta some in for you.
I love how you call it copy pasta instead of copy paste.
Cause fuck you.
A copy pasta is just a meme, though.
You're a meme.
Well, no, I'm kidding.
No.
You're a
And
meme.
seeing copy pasta instead of copy paste is a meme in itself as well.
It is
Exactly.
It's an Italian meme.
I want to die.
Is it Italian because it has pasta in it?
Racist.
It's a me, Mario.
Pasta man.
Racist. Kill yourself.
No, that's
Okay.
Alright.
You need to wait a bit.
So you guys are all aware of why you are here, correct?
Yes.
Your characters are at least. They all have their own personal missions that they're there for. That will be figured out later. But for the time being, your current mission, track down who hired you, and figure out what your assigned mission is.
Oh, yeah, we are all have players points here now. Yeah.
And I'm going to wait for Vic to get in so we can get his character done.
Who's Vic?
That is Avid.
Oh, okay.
That'd be avocado.
Avocado.
Didn't you say we were gonna have some?
Oh yeah, they're NPCs, but you have to find them and recruit them for your cause.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant some.
Who will be controlling the NPCs, though?
The person who controls the rest of the fucking world.
You.
The DM.
Yep.
The DM has the hardest job ever
Yep.
because they play everything.
Yep.
Mom has the hardest job ever, taking my dick.
And they're also DM. The DM in a D&D game is essentially God.
Alright, well I
What
guess
if-
we can I'll start off I'll start off with the native of these lands. Valgoth. You're answering the call to you're answering a relative volunteer project from your local tribe group to go and win some money to help prove relationships and trade routes.
Are you sure that's how that works?
It's up to you. Do you want it to be that or no?
Well, no. Well, main thing is, to my understanding, my race doesn't even exist here.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'll say
So-
that you're going out there to earn your own living then. And you found some flyers up in the trees that were just scattered around, specifically on the person you just recently bludgeoned to death with your penis.
No. No.
While bludgeoning him, you found that he had a pouch full of flyers that he was nailing to a tree you really like to mark as your own. So you decide to investigate it further, and it just led you to this village.
So we have one evil character.
No, he's just wild.
He's more like an accidental killer.
He's wild.
Is
Not
this-
as wild as you seem to be implicating, but yes.
Wild and-
Regardless, is this acceptable to you?
Sure, I found a piece of paper and I'm following it.
Yes, basically. that's just basically the long and short of it. Let's see, who else is next? Vale. Mr. Bane.
Balaron, yes.
Where are you from?
That's a good question. Something I haven't thought about.
Go look at the map. Go look at the map and just throw a dart at it.
Where's the map?
Give me a sec, I'll switch you over to it. This is the world as you know it, at least.
This
I'm
say
guessing we're around like one of those small islands.
You are up towards the right. Just,
where would half elves be?
you guys are all over the place, more or less. You kind of interbred with half elves are basically the inbred, or not the inbred, the breeding of elves who are from the Fae, which is often explored by humans, and humans who are roaches.
Can I put in like a dart somewhere to later?
We'll see.
Let's say I'm from that little small island there, and near Azion, right there.
On one of the coastal islands of Asian.
Like, well, I can't click and ping it, but up there at the top where you see that little C shape, and there's this little island.
Credi Linera.
No, damn it! I wish I could.
Over here or down here?
Right there.
This one?
There.
Okay.
A little island there.
Alright, so you have traveled there following the same call for investigation. Taking a boat to first your sister island of the Creta Lunra. Taking a boat there. Stopping at a few other islands that are around the place. Actually, no. The trek would have been from the crater to there, to the coast, to this island, to there, and along the coast, until it reached here, and then sailed back over. Okay?
Okay.
That is the trade route.
Cool.
You took a really long detour.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, no, that's the direction of the trade routes.
Oh,
Mainly.
okay.
Because one section wants something from up north. Oh, okay, well, this island over here wants something from there. Okay, well, they send that there. Well, this place will pay high money for stuff from here and over here, but they can't trade from here because these two places hate each other. So the trade route goes that way, saying it's from here, so they can sell to here, and it carries on.
And essentially, in order to get to where I had to go, I had to purchase,
You basically helped out along the crew to get safer passage and to not be killed on site.
And then and I'd probably have to change ships multiple times.
Oh yeah, you've had at least a good 6 or 7 weeks at sea.
You get seasickness.
Oh, you probably did puke your first week. You puked your fucking guts out, most likely.
Probably. Well, unless you're used to being on the boat, but anyway.
Regardless, that's where you have been coming in from. Answering the call for adventure, finding your old life boring for one reason or another. Is this acceptable?
That is acceptable.
Alright, Scotch.
Yeah.
You furry fuck.
Thank you.
Kill yourself.
No.
You were also on that ship, having stopped at one of the other islands and been posing as someone you may or may not have killed. You haven't exactly... Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong race. I apologize. Yeah, but you were picked up as one of the other islands as well, seeking the same thrill of adventure, and getting to know Mr. Bane at least well enough to at least know his first name, if any.
Yeah, fair enough.
Dunloch.
I'll be right back. 1 second.
Dunloch.
Dunlock.
You have also you were also sailing that boat. In fact, you were the ones who actually helped enlist a few people as well. Well, you were enlisted by your own private resources, and they had acquired you the ship pass to get on to this island, and you know why you're here. I'm assuming you kept to yourself through most of the trip, blending in with the crew as best as possible so as to not arouse too much suspicion. Is this fair to say?
Yep.
Okay, Avid.
Yes.
Alright. Where are you at, buddy? Where are you? I need to pull up your character. First, we need a picture for your elf guy, because I'm not putting a empty vessel on my fucking board.
Let me see.
Yeah, he's a little anal about that.
Motherfucker, trust me. It just looks bad. You see how much work I put into this fucking board?
You did put a lot of work into the map.
Yeah, so, come on. At least humor me a little bit.
Humor me.
Not that, you ass. Get rid of that, Evan.
Now
No, you
got
can't be the fucking continent, you dick munch. That's it, you lost your breathing privileges.
No. I'm looking for one. Let me see.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Just look up half-elf. Just
Yeah,
look up
that's what I'm looking
half-elf,
now.
skin color, whatever. Or hair color, whatever, I don't care.
I found
Or
one.
half-elf fighter.
No, I don't think. Batman them pumash the pom gunny.
What?
No, ça pas vrai. Alright, give me a second.
Sup,
Oh,
way?
he's turning into another entire other race.
Oh, goddamn.
I mean, that's how I found my picture. I literally googled half-elf / divine soul sorcerer, and poof.
Huh, dual rapiers. That's a thought.
That doesn't sound very valuable in blocking things.
Actually,
Dude,
Fighting-
rapiers are like the fucking top tier of blocking things. Fuck are you talking about?
when you're
Isn't a rapier just like a very thin sword?
Yeah,
you ever
but
held-
they're
have you ever
still
held a-
sturdy as fuck, boy.
have you ever held a rapier?
No,
They are heavy, believe it or not. For what
we
they
don't
are.
have any sword fighting close where I live.
And
Haha, you're gay.
also, the people also tend to think that a rapier cannot cut. That is a lie. They are actually generally sharpened from the midway point of the blade up.
Oh fuck, I forgot to say we were live.
Oh, so
You-
like
you
a
actually- you
very
actually
sharp
do that.
spear. It's like a drill sword.
While Avid looks for his thing,
And
you can
it's
explain to him not Facebook. This shit.
And when you wield two rapiers, it's known as fighting in Florentine. That's the style, Florentine. And it is very, very difficult. And to counter your point, Brian, they're not the best at blocking things, but the skill with defense with rapier is less of blocking blows and more of just not being there when a blow comes your way.
Being things.
You're more of when you're fighting rapier, you are very much reliant on maneuverability. I mean, yes, a rapier can parry, but parrying isn't the best way to block because it's not a pure on block. Generally, when you're parrying a blade, and obviously a rapier can't parry, say, a longsword. A rapier tries to parry
Not
a longsword.
accurately, at least. You can kind of drive it away, but not too well.
It depends on the strength and skill of the person using the longsword, because a longsword has a lot more weight behind it.
I'm just saying that you could at least direct it away from you. You're not going to stop a longsword, no.
No,
But
your
you can
best
you can at least push it to the side of you without hurting yourself.
Your best bet with a longsword, if you're fighting someone who's using a longsword or an arming sword, is to literally just not be where that sword is going.
Hey, Undoomed was on earlier.
Yes, I know. He was doing in the green room. He was talking about
What
the
about
Mandalorian.
one of those halberds thing?
Do what?
The poleaxe halberd.
A halberd?
Yeah,
Halberd?
Halberd. There's actually many different forms of polearm, by the way. You've got halberds.
Okay, well, Avid's got his shit back together. So you two also sailed along this little excursion, seeking adventure, fame, or riches, or whatever your purpose of it is.
Uh-huh.
Having grown dull and boring around wherever you came from, we'll decide that later. And you know your 4 compatriots in passing, to know at least their first names, and to know that all 4 of you are here for the same reason. And as you arrive at the docks, you're greeted to a very small village where you're told to be dropped off at. To
I
where
don't
several
wanna be
people
here.
are up and about, walking around, doing their cropping, or working the fields, fishing, off praying, off to the west, and just basically doing whatever the fuck the village needs to do to keep alive.
Okay. Doing day-to-day stuff.
So, who wishes to go first?
I'm
I
sorry, I
do.
just got back. I really needed to set up fucking salt bat for my feet right quick, because Jesus Christ.
It's alright, man. To be honest, you weren't involved in any of their shit anyway, right at the moment,
Okay.
so...
Yeah, no, my feet are
So,
fucking...
as far as you know, 4 strangers have shown up off of a boat recently. Well, you've just been
Okay.
standing around waiting.
We just thumb up your ass.
Or you're thumb up another guy's ass. I don't know. Do you, boy?
Okay, I guess I'll go up to who's this guy right here?
To him.
Guy, what is it? 1 up and 2 to the right of me.
That is Scotch. He is Fluffy's character.
Okay, so then I'll walk up to Fluffy and ask him, hey, what brings you here? Or I guess, hey, what's up? I'm Avid. Like, I introduce myself basically.
So you introduce yourself properly. Okay.
Yeah.
Because, again, only thing you guys would have vaguely figured out is, like, oh, we're all going to the same location.
Yeah.
And the first names, pretty much.
Yeah, you'd know each other's first names, but, like, proper introductions probably wouldn't have been made, so you guys can do that if you wish, or you can stay informal.
Proper introductions.
Okay, go for it.
Alright.
Alright.
Take
Hey.
away, my players.
How are you doing? Some trip on that boat, right?
It took about 8 weeks for some of you guys to get here.
Oh God. You saw that big fish that we passed by? Okay, let me stop.
Ah, go for it. Roleplay it, boy. Roleplay it. Have fun.
I think we saw a Kraken.
Wait, give me a second.
Unleash the Kraken! What's up with all the pathing going
You're building a fucking kite.
on? What's up with the pathing?
Because autism.
It is because autism. I shit you not.
I get it. Trust me, I get it.
Yeah.
Fly,
Okay, I'm
leave
back.
a kite.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, did you see that horrendous, terrifying Kraken while we were coming over here?
Valeron, you give me a perception check to hear this conversation if you wish.
Okay.
And please feel free to add to this story if you pass. So go on, give me a perception check.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
And please call out your numbers for me, because I do not have that screen open.
I got a 15.
Okay, you definitely hear them talking about krakens and crabs and all this weird bullshit.
Mhm.
You're welcome to intervene anytime during his story.
I'm going to roll my eyes and just blatantly call both of them morons.
Well,
Did
go
you
on.
see that? Can I do a perception check to see if I heard him from like
He's
I
like
guess behind
5
us?
feet. He's in shouting distance, so yeah.
And I wasn't exactly quiet about calling you guys morons. Oh.
Actually, I
okay.
would say, hold up, I should move you guys closer together because you all did technically just get off the boat, so you guys are like
Yeah,
basically standing right the fuck next to each other with like one exception.
Oh, so we just got off, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you got,
Hey, what was that for?
OOC, not gonna lie, my character is a fucking asshole.
you can just say out of character. You don't need the abbreviation.
He
okay.
is an asshole
This
who has
isn't
no
this
filter.
isn't a text. This isn't a text-based RP, man. You're fine.
Yeah, he's an asshole with no filter. So yeah, he says what he thinks.
Okay. So then, I guess I overhear him calling me retard, and then I'm like, hey,
Moron,
man,
get it right.
calling me a moron.
Moron.
I'm like,
Fucking moron.
hey, man, just because you were asleep under the boat doesn't mean you didn't see that. It was
Wait.
a scene. I'm telling you, man.
Asleep. I think I probably did more work on that ship than you did.
Whatever, suck my fat dick, and then I walk off with with Fluffy. Where's the closest bar in this hellhole, anyways?
Give me a perception check, or actually, not make it perception or survival. Your choice.
I will
let me
also
see.
make a perception check.
Okay, I guess I'll do a perception check. I got a 3.
Uh,
15 and a 3.
On perception, do I like...
You'd pick the high. In this case, you pick the one on the left because that is your first roll. The second roll is to be ignored, unless I say
Okay.
disadvantage or advantage. Advantage means
wonder-
between the two you would take the highest. Disadvantage in this case, you would have taken The main people, it's mainly humans, half elves, and a couple of orcs with a tabaxi laying around, one or two.
Okay. Alright, so then, wait, so what happens?
There appear to be very minimum places to really drink. You suspect, though, that a lot of people just have booze in their houses that they drink anyway.
Okay. Huh.
We should go ask the locals for some booze.
Okay. Actually, how about this? Hey, asshole. You wanna come with us to get a few drinks since you came on the same boat as us?
Or we can throw.
That's Aaron. I'm talking to Aaron.
Dunlock, what are you, Dunlush, what are you doing?
You mean you're talking about?
Dunlock.
Dunlock, yes.
Oh, stupid.
Bitch. I have to be able to speak other languages that aren't humans. Suck my fucking Slaneshian dick.
You don't have a Slanesh.
I have the dick of
Okay,
Slanesh.
shush.
You.
He's looking around at his surroundings. He wants to like assess
Alright, perception.
people around him and.
Seduce?
Perception.
Assess. Stop.
Seduce crab.
You roll to seduce the crab.
Oh no. Let me see. Let me see if I can actually do it.
As I
is that
said.
seduction or is that persuasion?
Well, what are you trying to gather from these people? The
Me?
three people that you rode on this boat for, by the way, you were the one that was on here for plus 8 weeks. Because you literally had
me?
yes, you. So you are moreover thrilled to finally be on land. But however, based off of the three, the way they're carrying themselves, they're probably here for the same job you are.
Right. But since I've been there for 8 weeks, I would have probably already assessed. So you can
No,
scratch.
you've been on the boat for 8 weeks.
Yeah, I know, but you guys have.
Yes, that and that they appear to be the most capable fighters in the immediate area because you have yet to really look over in this area where our furry friend is hiding. After having bludgeoned a man to death with his own dick.
Okay, again, what is this about me randomly bludgeoning people? He lives in the wilds. He is not a fucking
Hey,
mindless
why is he
barbarian.
bludgeoning them with his dick? Why is
just
he
happens.
bludgeoning them with his dick?
Alright, fine, Chris. You didn't actually bludgeon a guy to death. I just thought that'd be funny.
Okay, he injured. He maimed something.
No, he just simply found a poster and was like, oh, I like money. But anyway, Dunlock.
Basically, I'm looking at my surroundings.
Everyone seems to just be milling about their own business. A few people pay mind to you, but a lot of people just carry on without paying you too much attention.
So,
Don't know why they look at me, or.
Well, no, they're looking at all of you because you just got off the boat.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
The boat, which occasionally people are coming by, like more people from the construction yard area over here,
They
are coming by and loading up lumber and shit like that, and offsetting different supplies and moving shit around.
Okay, like, what's my mission?
To meet up with your
we don't
contact
know
and
yet.
start your fucking mission and get debriefed. That's what your mission is.
I know where my contact is.
Give me a history check.
Ooh.
No idea.
Boom. Ouch.
can I do
The
a history
fuck
check?
is a contact?
Can I do a history check to like try to find?
Well,
stuff?
let me explain why she got the
Alright.
horrible result that she did. You've been on the boat for a while, so your brain's a bit sea-logged a little bit. Like, you're having a hard time exactly recalling all the details at this second, so you can't exactly point out, oh, I go here immediately, at least.
Okay, well, seeing as it's take his time and get his bearings and
But yes, you do.
time to head to the tavern or something.
Alright. Scott, you want to make a check?
Yeah, I want to do like a history check to see if I
Alright.
can remember.
History?
Do I like just press
Just
on the
click
skill
history,
button?
yes.
What are you trying to remember?
No idea either.
Fuck.
That trip was long and tiring, man. You don't know where the
So,
fuck you're supposed to meet
Do
up
you
with
guys
this person.
remember? Do you guys remember who hired us? No, again.
You can both make checks on history if you wish.
Okay, I'm gonna do a history check.
Think. Think.
Come on, get that big think.
Brain blast. Brain blast.
Nope.
No. Why?
You and Scotch are both waterlogged the shit.
Oh my god. Ah, damn, dude. That trip fucked me up. I really don't remember what happened.
Valeron. You, however, do know that you're supposed to meet them in one of the buildings near the center-ish center. Well, not the center. Sorry, near the eastern side of town.
Can we follow Valorant?
I mean, he doesn't know which place it's supposed to be, but yes.
Hey, Valorant, let's just go with you then. I mean, you seem like the only person that might know who the contact is. Fluffy, how do you feel about that?
You mean
Chris?
the only one with two?
Chris,
His
I
name
will
is
get
not
to you.
Fluffy,
Don't
it's
worry.
Scotch.
The only one with 2 brain cells in his head that are actually working.
Listen, dude.
You don't have to be a fucking asshole all the time, jeez.
Huh? Once this fog gets out of here, I'll show you who's a real big brain, and then we start walking towards the building.
All right. All right. So we will cut over to Chris really quick. Chris, what are you up to, Valgoth?
Well, I just basically said.
Yeah, read it. Val. Read it, because we're not doing we're doing audio based.
Well, yes, I know, but whatever. Okay.
Relax, man. I know you're anxious to go. Just
Yeah, it's just been kind of slow.
yeah, I'm sorry. I've got 4 other idiots I have to contend with. Okay.
Wait, idiots.
Aw.
Hey, hold up.
Main.
Oh, I'm sorry, retards. I apologize.
Don't lump me in with Fluffy, okay?
Hi.
All right, calm down, Chris. What up? What you doing, boy?
Well, like I said, like in terms of in the wilds, the only people he's ever associated with on these lands would have been the orcs. So he's not familiar with all these little bleach-skinned monkeys.
All right. Alrighty then. Give me a perception check, Chris. Or what do you want to go by? Valgoth or Iron Fist?
Iron Fist sounds cooler.
It depends.
All right. Well, I'll call you
It really
Valgoth.
depends.
I'll fucking
People
switch
he
it.
is socialing with call him Valgoth. If he were to obtain some kind of warrior's name, they would probably be referring to him as Iron Fist.
All right. Well, I'm going to
Or
call
probably,
you Valgoth then. So, Valgoth.
What about the Morningstar Dick?
Valgoth, you are free to bludgeon Scotch anytime you wish to death with whatever
Yes.
utensil you desire.
Well, I'm carrying them all, so I mean that'll do nicely.
You do notice you on your way there you did hear the sea shanties and see the big white sails of a boat coming in, and you do know that orcs tend to be the strongest of these puny, pathetic humans, and they'll probably be used for the heavier lifting. So you decide that would probably be the best place to find an orc.
Yeah. No, pretty much just actually what did we settle on?
Wasn't Chris a Goliath?
No, oh my god.
I dare you to tell him that to his face.
Oh, okay.
No. He's a Gethrum Lycos hybrid, aka like 99% Gethrum, 1% wolf person.
Regardless, fucking dog dick having bitch.
Trudging around in a fucking dire lizard kilt
Kill.
with just some leather patching and pouches around his waist. That's
And
basically it besides
his
the
cock
big
hanging-
maul. No.
Alright, I forgot your dog. It stays inside of you.
Yeah. But no.
Oh wait, do I have my pet rat?
I don't know. Give me a perception check to try and find him. As you quickly pat yourself down to try and find your rat.
Yeah. But no, the maul is just kind of always hanging over his shoulder, padded by a patch of leather.
Okay then. So what are you going to do?
Oh, he'll trudge on over to the boats, trying to avoid too much eye contact.
All of you guys are able to really move your tokens as you see fit.
Oh, okay.
So as you approach Valgoth, you would see there were about 4 more aspiring humanoids. The word sits weirdly on your tongue, calling them that, as you've learned.
Do any of them actually look strong?
Give me a perception. Give me a perception check for just general information.
We look strong as fuck.
No,
Hell
you-
yeah.
Okay, I will tell
No.
you which of them is the strong boy. Give me a sec.
Yeah, with a perception 23,
Well, it's a natural 20, so he passed no matter what. Real.
Yeah, he's good.
Am I missing somebody? Valgoth, Bane, Vic and Claire, 4.
I can
Who am
tell you,
missing?
I'm not the strong boy. I can tell you that.
Who am I
Right?
missing? Hold on, I'm missing somebody on my screen. No,
Hey
that's
guys,
that one.
I'll be right back. Somebody's at my.
Uh-oh,
Give me a second. I'll be back.
Police, open up!
that's racist.
So,
But he's not.
does it look
okay.
like you're missing anyone?
All of them appear relatively weak, but the two that probably look like they, at least in strength-wise, would be this, which one is he? Let me check. Would probably be the half-elf and the, what appears to be humanoid-esque.
Which half orc, half elf?
It'd be
Remember,
these
there's two.
two.
Question is of like substantial strength though. Like, what are we talking here?
None of them will be able to match you in combat.
Then he doesn't notice them.
Okay then. But those are the only two of notable strength. Yeah, you're very much.
If they're not at least 16 or at least over 16, he doesn't even notice them.
They're +2.
My
So-
strength is actually 14 plus 2.
No, you have a +2 to your roll, so therefore you're just +2.
The plus
So
two
they're
is your
16s
modifier.
then, yeah. Like they're as long as he's concerned, they're farm laborers or something.
No, they're actually 14s. They're both 14s.
Oh god,
Although they
yeah. As
do-
long as he's concerned, they're farm laborers.
Although
He
they
doesn't-
do seem quite nimble on their feet, the way they
Yeah,
carry
he doesn't
themselves.
care about that.
I mean, me, I'm not necessarily physically strong.
Well, they can't tell that from a glance. Regardless,
No.
you do, with that perception as well, you do notice someone that does look strong, and it is a large orc man carrying 2 crates on his shoulders.
Yeah. Like I said,
And-
he basically walks over to that guy. He'll even talk to him in Orcish and basically check for directions on this strange piece of paper he found.
Oh,
He just-
you furry git, what can I do for you?
What? Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
your
yeah. These are orcs with a C, not orcs with a K.
Yeah, but I like doing the voice, so fuck you.
I couldn't even make out what you said.
Oh, you furry git, what you doing there?
You sound so British.
God, now I feel like if I'm apparently talking Orcish, I have to do an orc voice.
Go for it. Go for it. Come on, DM versus DM fun. Come on, let's do this.
Do it. I'm looking for where this here parchment scribble's telling me to go.
Oh, you still need some reading there? Why you
Yeah,
go?
unfortunately.
Why you gonna waste your time doing some reading? Just go out there and have you as a good old crumpet, eh?
Yeah, looking to crump for some sparkly bits.
Oh, there's some good sparkly bits there. Alright, let me see if I can help you out there, chump. Hey, roll the natural 1. Let me see. I'm assuming you're holding up the piece of paper to his face,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You see his nose start to twitch. Give me a dexterity saving throw to try it. Give me a dex check. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, Jesus. Don't do that again. Oh, that's not great. Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Okay, instinctually, you pull yourself out of the way and take the paper with you so he doesn't accidentally inhale and eat it. But he sneezes so fucking hard, you swear you heard him fart.
Sounds about right.
Ugh. Sorry about that. There's that learning shit that get me going. I'm not too much of the learning type, but I think I saw some of them squishy gits over there holding similar pieces of paper. I'm sure they might be able to help you out. And he points over to the three individuals that are gathered around each other.
Just kind of like squints a bit and looks back.
Yeah, I know. They look puny, ain't they?
Are you supposed to be warriors?
I guess, mate. He's a mystery to me. Apparently,
Wait a second, wait a second.
apparently there's his humies that moves fast to fight. Apparently, instead of
wonder-
just giving a good old crumpet, they wants to go running in circles.
Other characters for a second. Do we manage to hear these orcs talking? Yeah.
Yeah, you're hearing
do
you're
any
hearing
you
just a lot of.
understand Orc?
Yeah, you don't understand orc though, so
Oh,
all you're
wait,
hearing is
can I-
loud grunting.
Can
Unless
I
you
do a
hear-
perception check? Because
Sure.
I understand Orcish. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
They're not exactly being quiet.
Yeah,
They don't care.
they're pretty fucking loud.
Okay, so then it would be a perception.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely hear them talking shit.
Oh wait, I don't wanna like derail it, so I'll let you guys finish, and then I'm gonna like.
But yeah, apparently there's these humies that think going's fast, like there's a blue thingy will get and do some damage. What kind of cropping bullshit is this?
Only confusion is how skinny little limbs like that carry them very quickly.
I don't think he do, honestly. I've never seen one of these skinny brats fucking get into a good fight. A proper crumping. He's done with big metal, big muscles, and big lads.
I didn't hear that last bit.
Doesn't matter, you don't speak orc. It doesn't fucking matter.
No, I'm talking about a player.
Doesn't matter, you don't speak orc.
they just hear war.
Yeah, that's all I heard was Mike maxing intensifies, but yes.
Right.
Oh, sorry. I'll let me adjust myself really quick. Do.
But yeah, he'll just give the guy a good hearty slap on the shoulder and thank him for his time.
Oh, yeah, take care of it. He just lumbers off. Do.
Okay,
This
so
is the walking noises.
Trudge my fucking
Thick ass.
300 plus pound ass down the gangplank.
Okay, so then is it us now?
He's kind of hard to miss, but yes, you're being approached by what appears to be a giant bipedal wolven man. Like
Okay.
Lupin
Basically
man.
looks like an 8-foot tall werewolf, except like he's been doing the
And
Arnold
he's not a
Schwarzenegger
werewolf.
for the last 20 years.
Nice.
So yes, you see that approaching you. Describe yourselves and your reactions. I'm gonna say, go with Abbott. Go first.
Okay. Seeing as I've heard what they were talking about, I guess the guy. I guess I'm more kind of not quivering per se, but I'm like, oh, at least I understand what he's saying, and he doesn't mean any harm. Let's calm down, guys. He doesn't look that bad. And then I start. He doesn't look that bad, but let me make sure he doesn't do anything crazy. Does he? Do they do wolf people eat rats and stuff like that? I guess.
Probably.
Okay, so then
Um,
I start patting around on my armor, and can I take this to look for my rat just to
Yeah,
make
go
sure?
for it. Go ahead and give me a perception.
Okay, so I start patting around on my armor. Speaking of being
Perception,
calm,
perception or investigation, actually.
speaking of armor, let me see where my rat is. 11 and 19.
I'll say you get the 19 because he is your rat, so he'd be trying to find you if he sensed that you were looking for him.
Okay.
You feel something twitching on the back of your neck, and then you feel a tail lop over your ear as your little rat scurries up on your shoulder and goes squeak,
Ah, there you are.
squeak.
All right, so
squeak,
he's-
squeak, squeak, squeak.
Well, hey
Squeak.
guys, say hi to my pet rat. I'm gonna call him Daniel.
Are you gonna eat
Squeak.
that?
Daniel,
Uh,
squeak, squeak.
Hey Daniel, you see
Yes.
that wolf thing right there?
Squeak.
Yeah, please be calm. Get into my pocket and just hang tight real quick, okay?
Squeak. And then he crawls up your sleeve and just you see his tail just hang out of your pocket to let him know,
Okay.
to let you know that he's there before pulling it back in.
All right, nice. All right, and then I guess I'll just tell everybody. He's the wolf guy is kind of looking for the same thing we're looking for, our contact. So let's just welcome him with open arms. I'll be the translator since I know Orcish, I guess. Oh wait, does he know Common?
You don't know. Because he
Oh,
approached the orc speaking
we are
orc.
gonna say our reactions first before we continue with
Yeah,
everything.
we got to describe ourselves in our
Abbott, I
reaction.
would also like you to take this time to describe to Vic Vlair. Fuck, I hate your name.
Vic
Describe to Valgoth what you look like as you're petting
Okay.
your rat.
Actually, okay. So what? I guess I'm a 5'10". Oh wait, describe to Brutus?
Would anyone be able, like, would you be able to make the character sheets at least visible to people on the fucking side so I can like match pictures to names here? Like,
Oh yeah, I guess. Give me a sec. Show
Brutus in the
players.
booth, double scoop, hawk, vomit up, sup, knock it, ducks.
All players can view it in journal. All players can view journal.
What's up? What's
What is-
incense? Incense? They
I
just. Oh yeah, I thought he said this, the other thing too.
I thought he said incest.
That's
No,
what
he
we
said-
were hinting at without saying it. Thank you, Aaron,
Yeah.
for ruining it.
Sorry.
Huh? What's it for? It's just what is it? They use it for like
Meditation
calming.
and good smelling shit, mainly.
Incense.
Yeah.
is good
Meditation
with-
and good smells. Upaga one? Wow, y'all whack. Alright.
Alright, can everyone see each other at least?
Boy.
Alright.
you think so? I see 3 other people. Isn't there 4 other people?
Yeah, there should be. Give me a sec. Right, that's who I was fucking missing.
Who?
What?
I found who I was missing.
Who?
Elf faggot.
No. I mean,
yeah,
we
with
have
the
two
minus with the
elf
minus
faggot.
one. With the minus 1. I was missing Aaron's sheet. I apologize.
Oh,
Yeah, I wasn't seeing was
and
Mr.
why did you
Magic
call me an
Hands.
elf faggot? Really?
Yes. What are you gonna do about it? I'm your god. What are you gonna do about it?
Cuss you out in your own language.
Good boy.
Oh yeah,
Good
Celestial.
boy.
That's a quick way to wind up on the other end of a dick.
I mean, one has been introduced, so the possibility is not out. But let's save that till after the recording stops. So, Vic Vic. Vic, describe
Yeah.
yourself.
What is it? I guess black, half elf. 5'10". I guess not very. I'll say pretty muscular since I'm a fighter. What else?
I mean, it's more lean muscle, but yeah.
Okay, so then like not a twink.
Toned, you're toned.
Yes. And what else? I have a pet rat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a little rat that you watch scurry up his sleeve and disappear.
And yeah, I guess I'm pretty friendly as I'm like waving, saying hi, with a friendly face.
Oh.
All right, that's enough for me.
Okay. Let's go on to Valeron.
You see a man roughly 5'9", looks like he's about 180, pale skin, wearing a long white robe, pure white robe with the hood up, so you can't really see his hair or anything like that. And he is on his face. What you can see on his face, you can tell that he's not very impressed or worried.
Despite a giant.
Sorry, who's this again?
Valeron.
Alright.
I mean, he's just obviously like just more focused on getting where he's got to go and not really caring about you or anyone else.
Racist.
Not really racist. It's just he doesn't care.
Boy, he's pretty racist, Mike. Nah, okay. Alright. Scotch, go ahead and describe yourself.
About 6 feet, average build. Green eyes, dark clothes with stub leather armor and a hood. My face is more calm since he's like half kin to me. So I kind of feel a little bit more connected to him than I would to the other one. So
Okay.
Half. What?
Well, that's his own secret, so he'll reveal that in his own time.
Okay.
Because at face value, you can't tell what he is. He just looks like an average human to you.
Alright.
After all, they all look the same. Black, white, so on. They come in different colors. All inferior. And finally, Dunlock. Who is off
You
to
can
the
call
side.
him Arias, you know.
Fine. Uranus.
No, there's no N.
Uraeus?
Arias.
Arias. Okay, Arias. Describe yourself. And what the fuck you're doing away from the group still.
Shut up.
Go on. I'm
Yeah,
sitting
give
in
me
a
a
dark
sec.
corner. I'm sitting in a dark corner.
No,
Wait
he's
for me.
not.
I know you're not.
I was
There are no
waiting to
dark
go to
corners.
the tavern, faggot. Okay.
Bitch.
I told you that. You didn't listen.
Well, you're still meeting everyone, so.
Well, sure, whatever. He is 5'11", and he's quite lean looking, but he's in. It's a dark. Yeah, it's black cloak, and it's got like they kind of look like pointed ears on the cloak made out of cloth. And he wears an iron-looking mask over his face, so
Got a big arm.
pretty much unidentifiable at this moment.
And what are you doing? Just watching everyone gather, I'm assuming?
Well, yeah, I'm like just. Well, I assume there's like NPC crowd.
Yeah, you stand out more or less because
Right.
nobody else is wearing cloaks aside from you guys.
Yeah, well, that's fine. He's just mingling around there,
Okay.
getting the good scope. It
And then
looks like he's gonna head to the tavern.
Valgoth, describe yourself as you approach these 4 pathetic humies.
His posture isn't necessarily intentionally intimidating, but he is, 8 fucking feet tall and very broad. If anything, he's, I guess. Actually, I guess it would be notable that he's almost slightly intimidated because, again, he's not used to talking to normal people.
Use is small, protect small.
Well, not even that so much, but
Use is small, I fuck small.
He's not no, he's not used to food talking to him.
Oh yeah, okay, I think I know which NPC you guys are gonna end up teaming with. Okay.
But no, he just kind of, stands quietly for a moment before saying it. It just kind of like looks over everyone. Like,
Oh yeah, this is what the stubbed leather armor looks like.
Doesn't matter.
the only thing he's wearing really is a pair of like heavy fur-rimmed boots. This big kilt made out of a dire lizard pelt. That kind of has a sash that goes up over his shoulder to the one pauldron he rests his hammer on, and yeah, he just kind of like looks over y'all, and his other hand he's holding a piece of paper. So, you guys here for this?
Yeah, but do you know who is, well, technically who fuck.
So,
Well,
do you know who you're
technically
supposed
know
to fuck?
No,
That's
do you know who like who this flyer came from?
He shrugs. A tree.
That's not how paper works.
Valoran just shakes his
Well,
head.
That's actually how paper works, but not my point.
Give me perception checks, everybody.
Oh wait. Oh, so he made it over to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I need to call out your rolls for me.
I got a 9 and an 11. But I'm just.
Just call the first out. Just call the first one out until I ask for advantage or disadvantage.
Oh wait, by the way,
Okay.
I have advantage in perception checks, so
Okay then.
I mean proficiency.
Okay.
I mean, so I can roll 2
Oh.
times. So
No.
No, that's not how that works. Proficiency just means that there's something checked off that gives you a slight bonus.
fuck.
Speaking of, let me
Yeah.
check that actually. Just a sec. I have to
Yeah.
make sure you have everything set up right. Nope. Yeah, you put wisdom as your dump stat. Okay then. So
Put down the volume, guys.
Ures, Valgoth, Valoran, you all notice this man approaching you with a bit of a hobble before everyone else does.
Looks like we're missing one.
Yeah, are we missing Shoku?
Yeah.
No.
No,
No.
you took one.
We're missing the
Oh
bit.
yeah.
Oh, perception.
No,
Yeah, you gave one.
rolled.
Yeah, I did one, but I thought that
Yeah, you're
One,
good.
two,
Sure.
three, four. No, everyone's there. Everyone's there.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. The last one for Vic is okay. In there.
Okay.
Never mind.
Excuse
It was
me.
Vic I thought we were missing.
Excuse me. Are you lot adventurers? A crippled old man whose arm is actually missing, and he's got a bit of a bandaging over his head, which is still
Nice.
freshly stained with fresh blood from this morning. Are you lot adventurers?
I guess so.
The adventure.
Oi.
You certainly
Uh,
seem like the capable type.
Yeah. What's it to you?
You lot wouldn't happen to be replying to this here flyer then?
Yes.
He holds up the exact flyer that you guys have.
Oi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't you know?
Yeah. So sorry about that. I was a bit the missus was really nervous. They saw some big lots coming off the boat, and she got a bit scared. So you know how that is with wives and everything.
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
Jesus! By the
My
gods!
face went no GF.
He immediately notices you, Valgoth. By the gods!
Why do you and your mate carry so much fear?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know they made dogs you big.
Well, they do.
I can see that now. You're very large, sir.
You're very small.
I guess.
I guess.
Anyway, right then. Well, we've you see, I work with the Miners Guild in this here. He keeps glancing over at you, Valgoth. Just moves just slightly away. Oh wait, just let me see. Just slightly away. While he's talking.
Okay, so he keeps.
Just a
Kind of
little
inching
bit to
away.
keep, just like an inch or two away to keep some distance from you. He's a bit scared of you. And well, we've been having some issues there, and we was hoping that fuck, I'm getting orcish. We were hoping that
Yeah.
you and your some adventuring types could figure out what's wrong with it. We don't have much. We only have 200 gold for a group here, but I mean, assuming the job gets done, so we can get back to mining.
Is that
Can
200
I
split?
can I have something here?
Sure.
Have you ever heard any weird sounds down there lately?
Weird sounds.
Yes.
Well, we did hear some weird shit behind some walls, but we just thought that was rock coming loose before cave-ins.
Can we ask how far down in the mines was?
I'm not exactly sure, but it's like less than a day's walking, a day's digging.
Now you say
Is
200
this a
gold.
mine near a mountain or so?
Yeah, it's actually up north, actually. And he points up north to where there is, deeper in the woods, you do see a bit of a small-ish mountain. Not too tall, but not
Well,
exactly small.
From my knowledge, the goblin tends to live in mines, or maybe in mountain.
You can give me a check for that. I'm going to say, give me a sec while I'm doing something. Give me a history or arcana check.
I have
All of us or just him?
Just him, as he wants to try and make a connection.
fuck. My rolls are shit.
Oh, ain't that a shame.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What? Your balls are shit?
So what did you roll?
No, my rolls. I said my rolls are shit.
What'd you roll?
6.
Yeah, you got no idea.
Well, 6 and 14, if that helps.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Then.
Regardless, you're unable to really make too much of any connection exactly between
So,
goblins.
I feel like I've missed something. So, what is their actual issue? Like, what is it that
their
they need
mines
help with?
have been, for some reason, there's been way too many accidents in. He explains to you. There have been a lot of
Okay.
accidents in the mines recently, and we were hoping some adventurers could go in there and maybe find out what was causing all of this, because it's either some type of gubbin or some spooks or whatever.
Yeah,
But a lot of
yeah.
people are, weak farmer types, so they're not exactly the
Yeah.
brave sort.
Yeah.
So they put out a request that has gone well over ignored, and people are starting to die, so they've gotten desperate.
I have 2 questions for him.
All right.
One, you say you have 200 gold. Is that 200 gold total to be split
Yeah.
amongst us?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or-
It's all we can really afford, unfortunately.
I think I'm going to use persuasion check to see if I can get him to give us half up front.
You're going to try and persuade a poor miner who's injured to give you more money.
No, to give us half the money up front. No. Not more money. To give us half the money up front. You understand? Like an advance on the pay, that kind of thing.
You're going
I think
to
you're
ask.
hiding.
You're going to ask a miner who is injured. Okay, go for it. You can make your check.
I think you're hiding on us, old man. Pin him on a table.
No, I'm persuasion, so it's not being mean. I'm asking for half the money up front, not for more money. I'm asking for half the money up front. That's all.
Well, let me make a counter check for that really quick.
That was actually a pretty poor roll, to be honest.
Yeah, so he actually rolled just high enough to beat it. Let's see. Well, we've had some other adventuring types unfortunately come by, and they've tried taking, well, all of our money, which is why we're unfortunately down to 200. So, to be honest, I don't even have access to the 200 right now myself.
I have a
I'm
question.
just the messenger, really.
I have a question. How did you injure your eye there?
Well, you see, in mines, when rocks fall, they fall from above.
Fair enough. Also,
Understandable.
how do you mine with only one arm? Doesn't it usually require 2 arms?
It'll heal eventually.
Bones
What
don't
do you
grow.
mean? It's gone.
No, it's not. It's still there. It's just in a sling.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you say, old man.
Okay. I guess I'll be like, hey guys, this sounds fun, and then we're gonna be like, so where's this? Can you like take us to this mine so we can actually get started to see? Oh wait, what time is it?
It's around like midday by now. It's like the sun is starting to set. You guys were on a very long boat ride.
Okay. All right then, old man. We see.
I would say get some rest and do that tomorrow.
Yeah. Can we like bunk at your place for the night and then we can go tomorrow?
I mean,
Can I persuade him?
You guys are adventure types. I just thought you like Captain Trees and what's it?
No, that's only elves. So.
I'm sorry, I'm not a dog.
Is it he? But in here, an elf, and ain't you a dog?
I sleep where I please.
What I think this
I'm
my
sure you
dim-witted
do.
compatriot.
Well, I'm asking on behalf of my human brethren, not really on my
What I think this dim-witted person's trying to say is when we're in towns, we like to sleep in the bed. When we're out in the woods, then we camp.
I mean, which one of you guys wanted to roll persuasion?
I'm good with sleeping outside.
I'm good with sleeping outside.
I thought one of you guys said you wanted to try and bunk with him though, and you wanted to roll persuasion for it.
Didn't Chris say that?
Yeah,
No, I said I wanted to bunk for him, like on behalf of you guys, since like I don't know, since you guys are like people, and since we already came from that trip.
I'd rather you sleep in a comfortable bed.
Why don't we just go to the tavern or the inn,
Sounds
buy
like
a
a good
room?
idea.
Hey, old man, is there an inn near here?
I'm 45, mate.
Dude, you're old. Is there a tavern near here?
Ow.
Well, it's the medieval era, so 45. Yeah, he's fairly old.
Yeah, he is.
Well,
I mean,
You
there
might-
are
you might
people that
not
are
be
living to
old,
be
but,
100, so.
well, technically, you might not be old, but due to all your hardship in life, you do look like you're in your mid-70s at least.
Alright, I'll take that at least. Well, the middle, fuck, why is it not pulling up? Right, give me a sec. Well, they're building over here, actually. I know, Marion kind of kids, they could probably get you some food. I know that one building over there with the chimney stack still going. That's the cookhouse. You don't really want to stay there unless you really want to be sleeping in meat juices and what have it. If you're willing to work, I know the farmers always are willing to if you pay with work, they'll give you a place to stay. Won't be the most lavishing type because I know adventuring types like to sleep in fancy beds and all. But maybe you could try across the river or something. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm gonna go with sleeping in the farm place. I kind of like agriculture, so a little hard work would do my body some good.
The black guy spoketh.
Hey,
You
look.
gotta go pick the cotton.
My
You
throne
gotta go
is the
pick
most
the
lavish
cotton.
bed there is.
What?
Wait, what happened?
I think
What
he said
happened?
hard.
My fur is the most lavish bed there is.
I'm sure it is. Dog, man. I don't know what the fuck you are, man. Honestly,
Guthrum.
Gesundheit.
I could eat you.
I'm sure you could, but then you wouldn't get paid.
Well,
What?
I
speaking
think
of
my guy's
paid,
a second.
I was gonna say, speaking of getting paid, there goes my monetization.
Oh gosh, that
Well-
is true. Sorry.
It's fine, I don't give
Well,
a
you
fuck.
He's not even
technically are not big
monetized.
enough to get
What
I
paid
the
am
hell?
never
more.
going to be monetized, trust me.
Hey, I don't know. There's always a.
Look, with the people that he's associated with,
That
he
alone.
ain't getting monetized.
so as I was gonna say, speaking of payment,
Right.
rather than gold, may I receive payment in food and iron?
I mean, we do occasionally cross comes of veins of iron. It's actually a pretty good import. We don't get too much for it, unfortunately. Not as much as we used to.
Well then,
Well, for the
he's not
sakes of
taking the
your
gold. More money for us.
in the sakes of your village's economy, I will gladly accept that in food instead of gold.
Alright then, I guess.
Well, more gold for
Just
us, I guess, then.
don't
Yeah,
eat your wife
that's
and
it.
kids is all I ask.
Oh, yeah, he
you
is
are
a-
very
That is
scary
fine.
individual.
I tend to be advert to eating things that talk to me,
I'll
unless
make
they
sure-
really annoy me.
I'll make sure they at least say hi and then bugger off.
I
Yeah,
think
that's reasonable enough, I suppose.
um, well, it has been a very long boat ride for us, so
Right.
I think I'd rather sleep in a comfortable bed for once than a fucking hammock than that swings.
Right.
Alright.
Well, I'll leave yous to figure out your lodgings. I'm gonna go let my wife know that I'm okay. She swore one of you's gonna eat me. So guess who's getting two helpings of pottage today?
Alright, so I guess now that this guy is banging it back to his house.
Yeah, I'm currently on a different screen designing a map, so yeah, just he fucks off.
Okay, he disappears. He's gone. I'm making my way to the farm.
Which one?
What is it? I guess the top left one, the blue farm.
Okay,
Okay, so I'm just gonna put my icon on there.
go for it. What about the rest of you?
Hello.
Everyone
Nope.
else? Yeah, what are you guys gonna do for lodging?
I'm probably gonna just set.
I'm gonna go to the inn.
Like I said, I'm probably gonna go where the food is. So again, if I'm
So the meat house.
if I'm well, whoever's willing to, whoever has enough work for me to do to be fed.
Okay, well there are several places where you could well, I read you're carnivorous, so your best bet, based off of his information, would probably be the meat house, where they
Yeah.
where they take care of wild game that they catch.
Yeah, no, and he's experienced with that. So
That would be the house with the smokestack on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
where's the inn then? Is this
There
the
is
inn?
no inn. They're not big enough to exactly hold in.
the closest thing to an inn is that house, though, because you said that lady would have room or something, right?
They said the farmhouses would have room, more or
Oh,
less.
okay.
As long as
I-
you're willing to work, unless you want to try your luck at the at Mildred, who had a bunch of kids.
Well,
I think I'd rather sleep inside than in a fucking haystack.
I decided I was just gonna set up my my camping shit and just camp. Fuck it.
I'm going to the meat house so I can have some food as well.
All right, and our silent rogue.
I do a history check. Attack again.
What are you trying to do?
Huh? No, history check to see if I can remember my time.
To remember your mission, you mean?
Yeah, you said I had a contact.
You were
So-
supposed to meet somebody, which counts as a contact. But yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
Alright, go for it.
I will be right back. I'm gonna go
13.
eat.
This mission certainly rings a bell. So this probably was your mission.
That's fine. That's not just my contact. But anyway, so no religious.
I'd say give me a... Actually, with that history, do you want to use that history check, or do you want to roll a new one?
I'll roll a new one.
What if you get like a natural one?
Well, then that's.
Go on.
So, another history?
Yes. Well, what do you know?
Yeah.
Fluffy spoken in the truth. Nah, man.
Oh well.
The guy mentioned nothing about no shrines anywhere.
Well, then the outdoors is my shrine. I'm up under the night sky.
Apparently.
Oh, what a pose and I'm gonna actually. I don't know.
You what?
I'll just go off somewhere over here.
To the woods?
I just wanted like a more secluded spot.
Yet you've
guess
been the
you're
only
like-
one to not properly introduce yourself to any of the other PCs.
Well, I thought there was a tavern, and that's
Well,
place you
you-
mentioned. That
I didn't. Did I mention a tavern?
I'm pretty sure you did, or everyone else.
I mentioned a meat house.
Well, someone mentioned a tavern, so that's.
I asked
Yeah,
for
one of the
tap-
PCs. They were asking if there was a tavern, and I said no.
I'm back.
The
Well,
closest
then
thing was
I
a
didn't
meat
hear you
house.
say that.
That's
Oh.
why I'm camping out, and they're all crashing at weird places.
I'm just
Yeah,
crashing with
stay
my
here.
big wolf mana.
Who will? Question.
what?
I mean, the two dogs are sleeping with each other, so.
No, I don't sleep with food.
And the black guy is on a farm.
Hey, it's out of my
You-
own volition.
You're
At
the
least
one.
I'm getting paid.
I mean,
Well,
Yeah,
you don't get paid nearly enough. You get
I'm getting paid to sleep somewhere. That's better
Well-
than nothing.
at least you go back to the old slave days.
all right.
All right.
Alright,
Hey,
alright.
He's
Only-
fixing-
Only I'm allowed to make those jokes. If anyone's
Let's
getting me
slow it down.
demonetized, it's me.
Okay, then okay.
If anybody's killing me, it's me.
Exactly.
Alright then.
Oh,
What up?
my guy's just gonna sleep outside because I still want to remember the person I'm supposed to meet. So if I can't figure that out by the
Ah,
morning,
give me
I'll
another history check.
introduce myself or something.
Give him another history check.
Ugh.
No idea. Again,
Should've
the
really
closest
used that
thing
first
to
morning, then.
the closest thing to your contact that you'll probably get is that old man. Well, that quote old man, unquote.
Quote unquote, man.
You think he'd know?
I mean, the old man is human, right?
Humanoid, from what you can tell.
But
You,
he's old.
Well, the reason I was asking because if he's human, 45 is actually considered old in D&D world.
Oh, I guess I could. Oh, I can't remember anything about my contact, so questioning him would be stupid. I don't know anything.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
Wait, since she came in, oh no, we're all basically at our places. Never mind.
Well, she's
Yeah.
still. I would say this would still be. Well, she's still thinking, being quiet and off to herself. You guys probably would have
Hidden
noticed her.
self.
You probably would have noticed him. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm transphobic. Whoops.
Yes, you are, you
What are you gonna do
monster.
about it, bitch?
Just remember
He
that
would be.
my
He'd
character.
be. He was off by himself through most of the trip, and the only time you actually really even took notice to
He's
him.
friendly.
Yeah, clearly. You know,
He
introducing
just
himself.
hangs back so he can assess situations.
You didn't even really say anything. To be fair.
Regardless.
Wow, everyone else was cool.
Regardless. None of you have really paid too much attention to this individual up until now. You haven't really noticed them. They've just kind of been blending in with crowds, trying to go unnoticed. But
Like
just-
a rogue.
But with that, this due to how they dress and how they stand out quite easily.
It's fine.
So if any of you wants to interact with them, you can while I'm finishing
No, I'm
up.
in the inn.
While
I
I'm
mean,
doing
I'm in the meat
finishing
house.
touches on this map.
My guy's just gonna be setting up his little camp and then snacking on some like jerky.
I
he
wonder,
packed.
I will carry real quick. Because I'm like a shifter, does that mean I can eat raw meat?
You can try.
I mean, theoretically, anyone can eat raw meat, even real life.
You can
raw
eat
meat.
anything at least once.
Well, except chicken, because
No, you can
No,
eat
take-
anything at least once, lava included.
yeah, but it'll probably hurt more than taste.
Like I
I
said,
know
I don't
people.
you can
think it
eat
would
it
just
once.
hurt.
Like
The
I know
joke
people
is that
in
you
real
can try
life-
to eat anything once and it may kill you when you do it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I-
fair enough.
I know people IRL who eat raw hamburger meat right out of the package. So
That's
Why?
disgusting.
you can
It's
do it
it's a
though, and it
German
won't
thing.
it won't kill you.
Yeah. Not all meat is deadly.
I know what else is deadly.
God damn it.
Dick.
Anyway,
When I eat
It's
steak, I eat
it's
it
just that
regular.
it needs to be very fresh.
is it dark out yet, Brian?
It is pretty late.
Yeah.
Give me a sec while
Is-
I have finished this map.
Is the
Okay,
moon gonna
cool.
be out?
It's probably
so you guys are
afternoon
going
right
to
now.
all just basically, most of you guys are going to go camping out? Is that what I'm
Well, no, everybody else decided to get their little house, go into little houses. I'm the only one camping. I don't
Oh.
have myself.
No,
I'm working-
I'm outside.
I am working in obtaining meat as payment from the workhouse. I am not sleeping in there.
hearing? Oh, okay.
I'm
So
gonna
where do you
sleep in
plan
there.
to sleep?
I'm gonna sleep in the
Possibly
meat house
just on the
because
edge of
I
town,
enjoy
or
it.
if I'm allowed
You're
to
gonna
next to the
sleep in a
river.
meat.
You're going
Yes,
to...
I am.
Guys, shut the fuck up. Valgoth, what you're saying?
Either on the edge of the town, or if I'm allowed to next to the stream, or the
I
river,
mean,
or
you
whatever.
can put a tent wherever the fuck you feel like, really, so...
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I'll camp out next to the river after I have my meat.
Alright.
The question is, how much work is there to do, and do they like how much meat are they willing to pay me? Is the question.
I was actually going to work that out with you in a sec after I sent, after I give some people some tents. Who's all camping, by the way, with tents?
I'm camping up here. You see me right here.
Okay, yeah.
I just want someplace warm.
Put it right over me.
Here by this little.
You want to set your camp up there?
Yeah.
I wanna
Well, pretty much
snuggle in.
exactly where I'm sitting. So just move up one. There we go.
I just figured, seeing as he was like, yeah, no, fuck this, I'm going to bed, he just threw his tent over top of himself and went to bed.
No, I set up the camp and I was snacking on
I'm
like
just,
jerky.
I'm just poking up over the top of that. Hey guys,
Hey,
what you
I'm
doing
good.
over here?
I'm gonna touch all your butts when you're asleep.
I'm gonna snuggle into your thick wool fur.
Ugh.
So, yeah, he tries to rape you in your sleep. Roll initiative.
No, I'm not.
Blast
But
him with
regardless,
big flame.
so yes, Volgoth.
Oh, hammer.
Let's start. God damn it, Volgoth. Let's start with you. So you approach the meat house, and you have to duck first of all to get into the fucking door because you're how many feet tall again?
8.
Yeah, these are clearly made for people under 6 feet tall. So you just
Yep.
kind of grab the thing and just duck your way in, and
Mhm.
like immediately get stared at. There's about three humans and a tabaxi all working, and like only one that keeps working is the tabaxi because like, oh well, if I die, I die. Literally, that's just the air that's around him. If this person's here to kill me, they can kill me.
Yeah, he'd probably just give a little slap to his well-maintained hunting knife that he has probably made a bone handle out of bits from the fucking dire lizard. And I'm here to work.
Alright, put on an apron, get working.
Yeah.
Is what the tabaxi says without even looking up at you. Just pointing his knife over to some aprons that are hanging off the wall.
Yeah, he'll put a few of them on just to be enough to cover himself.
So how many are we talking? Because there's
it
only
would need to
3 to
be-
spare.
Yeah, it would basically need to be all 3 of them. Like, usually there's one in the middle and then one off to each side.
As he's hearing you take longer, the tabaxi looks at you. Well, I guess I'm not going to die today, so that's good. This cat, by the way, he looks like he might be related to a wild leopard or something. He's also has like a giant gash over one of his eyes that looks like it'd been clawed out. So he's very much just not giving a shit about you.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the sense that with the bow that's near him, along with the arrows, he's probably has killed most of this game himself.
Dude.
So, Biggins, you ever worked with a wild game before?
All my life.
Yeah, I believe that. Just looks you up and down. Yeah, I can believe that. Alright, then you know how to properly skin and treat the meats, then?
Of course.
Well, here we like to add salt and then smoke them. That way it can be dried and kept for later if it's not going to be sold and cooked immediately.
It'd be the appropriate way to preserve it.
Indeed. So, what you can do is start working on that. We've got a few deer actually over there. He points to a table that's it's a couple feet away from him. You work on there. There's about 2 deer and an entire pig. Well, an entire boar with several arrows sticking out of its hide and head. The elk on the deer on the other hand seem to be taken down with 2 or 3 arrows.
You're a lot smaller than me. I will need to know your meat portioning.
Right then. I would say as big as your arm, but he looks at you. Yeah, that's gonna work. I'd say about £1.25.
Well,
Pound and a
no, I'd
quarter
make it
per
to
stick
work.
per size. If you need a reference, we got a not a stencil. What the hell do they call it? We got a bit of a template for you if you need it. If it can fit in the just fitting into the little square of meat, and then we'll hang that up there. Make sure it stays in one slab though.
A grater.
Yeah.
You call it a grater.
Probably a meat grinder.
No, not a grinder. A grader.
Like a cheese grater?
Anyway, he shows you regardless what size meat he wants you to get. And I'm going to need you to make me a strength check for your work. Or strength or dex of your choice. Although I think I know which one.
Obviously. Too bad I rolled shit, but still didn't do that badly, I guess.
That's actually a strength save.
Oh, well, what's a strength check?
You just click the strength stat, not the strength save.
Oh, okay. Didn't know there was a difference.
There you go, much better.
Shit.
But yeah, you basically just brute force your way through a lot of the tougher meat with relative ease. But yeah, like mainly your body is doing most of the work due to the low roll, but you do pretty well, more or less. And you manage to finish up your portion in time with everyone else. Right, well, it's getting late, so everyone go the fuck home. Now you big guy. What do you want in lieu of payment? Because we're kind of short on coin around here, unfortunately.
I have no desire for coin, only food.
Alright then, how much would sate you?
How much can you afford?
Check. Give me a sec. And he's going to walk off towards...
I do not make he'll basically put it as I do not make demands of my employer.
He goes into the back. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes where you're just left with all of this freshly chopped, bloodied meat.
He would intentionally walk out of that room in particular and into the main room just to stop himself from salivating.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know,
it,
hang
it,
the aprons back up.
like your blade is still dripping wet with the blood of and the fucking little bits of flesh they didn't exactly.
Oh, when he
clear
knew
off.
he was completely done, he would have licked it off already.
Oh, okay. The sanitary way. But he comes back with about a under the arm sized sack with him. Well, this is a bit older meat. I hope your teeth are well. No, yeah, you could probably chew through this with ease, similar with those chompers, yeah.
Yeah. He just kind of bares his teeth for a moment.
Yeah, he'll smile. He'll crack a smile back at you. He shows off his own. They're not as big, but they're more needle-y, and like half of them are broken.
Yeah.
Right.
For
this is
for the guests from the front are actually he's got that bit of canines where they are very pointy, but they are almost shark-like because they've melded with the Guthrum DNA. So it's almost like having little pointed hatchet blades in the front, but then he still has molars in the back.
Okay. Well, this is from a few months back when we couldn't exactly sell them. I was kind of hoping to just turn them into fish food, but I'm sure you could probably make better use of it than I could.
Of course. Would
And
you mind if I borrowed a stewing pot? I can return it in the morning.
I think there should be one in the main room actually, because a lot of people come here for cooking because we're the ones that are the only fire-safe building actually. So yeah, there should be one in the main room, and he points you towards the chimney, like not the chimney, the stove, like the stove area for cooking. It has a nice nice wooden table, with a relatively sized assortment of cookingware, such as an cast iron pot, still bubbling from the fire, and a few pots that are just gunked with green stewage and pottage.
Yep, he just grabs a hold of like whatever the
You pick
biggest
it up.
pot that
It's
currently isn't in use.
yeah. I was gonna say the bag of meat, by the way, is about Let's see. Let me roll for something actually real quick. Let me see how much meat.
Yeah, just say days worth of normal food.
No, you did good
divide
work
it to
actually. So he gives you about 3 days worth of meat.
Like 3 days standard or 3 days for me?
3 days. Well, 3 days standard. So 1.5 day for you.
All right. So yeah, I probably would have already eaten earlier in the day, so I'll eat the half days, now,
Yeah.
and I will. I presume is this what kind of
It's-
game meat is it?
It's from what you can tell, it's a mix of wild pig and elk. A lot of
perfect.
people don't seem to really like the elk of that season too much for one reason or another.
Yeah.
So it didn't sell too much. So there's like about 1 pork chop's worth of pig, and the rest is all elk, unfortunately.
All right, so he will smoke the elk and he'll render all the fat from the pig and use that to make pemmican.
Okay. Let's see. But yes, you can enjoy that at your own league, I suppose.
Yep.
And we're going to move down the line. Vic Valar. Vic Valar. Vic. Avid.
I'm right here. My some people in my house.
Some people in your house are being loud?
Shush.
No, I was asking, is that what you said? Because I couldn't hear you.
So what happened? I'm sorry.
We have moved on to you.
Oh, okay. I don't want to spend too long because I'm gonna be gone 20 minutes. I have to go pick up my mom.
Okay.
But okay. So, I guess now that I'm in this farm, what the hell do I do? I guess I walk into the farm, and I just look around to see who's there.
You see several dwarven men and a fellow half-elf with white hair and platinum hair and paler skin, working in the fields.
Okay. Okay. I walk up to the half elf and I start asking him, "Hey, who owns this farm? And I guess who can I talk to start working here?"
He talks in Elven at you. Ah, I see your parents were also exploratory as well. Well, if you must know, I own this farm.
Ah,
And
well, nice.
as appropriately, I have the dwarves working for me.
um, well, I'm not thinking of any lesser race, but I'm trying to earn my keep here, and I kind of just want to sleep.
Alright, then. Well, do you know
uh,
how to work a hoe?
I don't know, man.
Do you know how to work a field?
Well, I can learn.
He says cutting you off before you can make the joke. Do you know how to work a field?
Yeah, I do.
Very well. He tosses you a hoe. Work.
Hey.
Work and I'll get... He tosses you the tool hoe.
Uh-huh. No, I know what you
Plow
mean.
about
Yeah.
plow about half the days... Bleh. Plow about a evening's worth and we'll get you someplace to sleep.
Okay. So how would I roll to like actually start working? Because I remember he did.
Say, give me a strength saving throw. As this is
How
going to
the-
be. Actually, no. Wait. What?
Stop, for real. Fuck off. Bang it, for real.
Give me a Constitution saving throw, actually, because this is going to be a very grueling task.
Okay, so then what would I do? I'd roll Constitution, and then how do I do it saving?
No. Saving throw is on one of the things up above the right.
Oh, okay.
Above,
Saving
above
throw.
skills.
Yeah.
Above skills. Yeah.
Okay. I see it.
So give me con.
All right. Oh my goodness.
You.
I got a 4.
Okay,
Oof.
let's see how. Let me roll for chaos to see how badly you fuck up.
Oh god.
Oh goody.
Wow.
So you managed to complete about 2 rows before slamming your hoe as hard as you can into the ground, and it snaps. The business end of it pops off, and I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. It pops off.
It's not bad. Working.
It barely whizzes right past your head.
Oh my goodness. I
And you're left
Hoes
with
be crazy. Woof. Hoes be
you're left with a broken hoe.
Hey, and then I guess I walk up to the half elf. Oh wait, I never asked what his name is.
It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Hey, he's generic NPC number 2. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. Hey, generic NPC number 2.
Fuck you.
This hoe was acting up and it decided to break on me. How can I fix this?
He just looks at you and sighs. Right then. Do you know any magic by any chance?
No.
I take it you don't know the mending spell or anyone with the mending spell, do you?
No.
Fair enough. Yeah, go find the other piece. I'll fix it.
Thank you.
Alright, roll a perception check to find the other piece because you didn't keep track of that shit.
Oh yeah, it flew past me and almost killed me. Okay, perception. Oh my goodness, I lose the other piece.
Yeah, you come back after like
God
when the sun
damn
is while the sun is going down. Just with the broken hoe and you still can't find it.
I can't find it. I'm sorry.
Well, you get
I
thrown out of the farm.
have never been so disappointed in my own race before.
It's not my fault.
I'm sure it isn't. I suppose other half races too are inferior.
Okay, look, you're the same race as I am, dude. There's no shit talking over here.
Well, no, you see, my elven father bred with a white woman.
What? Alright, so this is
No,
where I do an intimidation check. This is where
He doesn't fucking say that. I'm just doing that for
Oh,
bants.
Now, here's a question, because I'm camped out really close to the farm. Would I be hearing this at
No.
all?
They've got about like a couple freaking miles of fucking land before, like, they're
Okay.
out in the middle of the field having this conversation. You're nowhere nearby.
Okay, good.
I mean, I should have made that a lot bigger, but yeah, I didn't have the space for it or the time. I suppose I'll figure out something. And give me a persuasion check for him to not kick you out right now.
Okay. Persuasion. No. Well, maybe I could do something else
You
since
can
I'm already
you
here.
can sleep in the shack and find the piece tomorrow. However, we will not be providing food for you.
Oh, well, that's no problem. As my stomach growls loud as shit.
He doesn't care, just takes the other part of the broken thing and walks off into the house to eat.
Well-
He gestures you off to the shack that's out towards the middle of the field where some spare tools are kept.
Back into the fucking slave shack I go, and then I start walking.
Basically. Go pick up your mom.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
All right.
because I wanted to get
Well-
your shit done quick. Had I known that earlier, I would have done you first so you can get your shit done quickly. So make sure to let me know
What?
next time.
All right. I'll hit you up, guys. I'll hit you guys up
Well,
later.
Yeah, we'll still be at
Peace.
this. So if you still see everyone in
Just
here,
get
just drop
out of
back in.
here and get your mother.
All right. No problem, guys. Have a good one.
Later.
All right. Bye.
Alright, so I guess we'll have to do, unless he doesn't come back on time, we'll probably end up having to do the actual part of the adventure next week.
Fair
in that
enough.
case. But
Damn
for
it.
right now, we'll get the rest of you guys done, and then we'll decide that afterward. Everyone okay with that?
Alright.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. Sorry if I missed the game that I'm in.
No, you haven't
I
missed it
just
yet.
moved out.
That's not in, like, for another... Fuck.
5 hours.
Yeah, 5 hours at least.
Oh, sweet, you're kidding me.
Yeah, no, you're early. We're starting up a different game because Chris won.
I thought it was yesterday.
No, that's tomorrow, you get.
I think that's why I asked, but I did say it was moving, didn't I?
Yeah, probably. Either way.
So I got 5 hours to nap because I'm exhausted.
Yeah, just go do what you gotta do and shut the fuck down, you fucking bloody git.
Yeah, I'll be good.
Better.
Don't worry about me. I'll stay
Otherwise-
up longer than this.
Otherwise, I have to put Slanesh in your ass.
Oh my.
Anyway, Valorant.
really quick,
Valorant.
really quick,
Stop.
really quick. My new house has a backyard in-ground pool.
Fuck
and
yeah, boy.
My buddy boy, he spotted a duck. It's just paddling around in the pool, and he just goes after it, and he couldn't figure out his way in this morning.
Poor puppy.
His way out this morning, you know.
All right.
And I have to go in there and lead him to the little pool stairs. And now he's just jumping in and out of the pool for exercise. I'm not like, yep, go at it, but I don't have to walk in this heat. Have fun.
All right then. Valorant.
Yes.
What are you up to? What are you doing to set up for camp exactly?
Well, my guy has, his generic camping supplies that are in his pack.
Do you?
Yes.
If I checked your pack, would you be lying?
He has a explorer's pack, so he should have it all. I mean, maybe the only thing he might not have is an actual tent itself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you actually have a tent? It was what I was mainly trying to get at.
Yeah, he might not have a tent itself,
Hemp
but
and rope. Okay, so yeah, you just have so you just have a bedroll. Okay. So sleeping out under the stars, it is.
yes. And of course he did. I believe he probably has some rations, like jerky
Yeah,
or
you
something
still
like
have
that.
you still have your 10 rations. All of you guys were working on the boat.
Yeah,
Pay-
and so
pay
he
for your meals.
ate some of that. Set up his bedroll. Did a little meditating, and then
All right,
fucked
cool.
off.
Give me a survival. Well, actually, no, wait. You don't have a tent. I otherwise would call for a survival check. So yeah, you're just going to chill and meditate. Not going to do anything.
Meditate, and then rough it and sleep. And after eating a little bit of the rations I have.
All right, make sure you mark off one ration. That's another thing, guys. You guys do have to keep track of food.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
No, I should have to, but I do. So yeah, you're pretty well set. Give me a second. We're gonna sneeze. Maybe. I don't know. Scotch.
Yes.
Give me a second. Gonna sneeze. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. You're going to the meat house. You're going to the meat house as well, right?
Yeah.
You entered through a different door that Valgoth didn't enter, and you entered the section full of about 2 or 3 different women.
Here?
Yes. you see a dwarf, a human with white hair, and a white-haired tabaxi. Actually, no, not a white-haired tabaxi. I apologize. You actually see, where the fuck are they? A green-scaled kobold. I apologize.
Well, ain't that nice?
All three of them are cooking, and the kobold looks at you.
Huh? What's wrong? Where's danger?
Can we help you? No, I gotta get this.
Yeah, I'm just looking for like a little bit of food to have a warm place to sleep.
Well, I can't exactly. Fuck, I'm not going to do this voice. Well, I can't exactly help you with a warm place to stay, but I can help you out with some food if you want to work.
What type of work we're talking?
Well, are you any good at cooking?
Nah, I don't know.
Well, are you or aren't you?
How should I know? I've never cooked.
Oh, well, I'm afraid I can't really help you then if you don't know how to smoke basic meats.
Well, I could try. But it's not. It's your own fault if it goes bad.
Well, if that's going to be the case, then I'm afraid I can't help you then.
Ah, fuck.
Anyway, it's time, and they walk up and close the door in your face. As you failed the freaking social interaction.
Well, sorry.
Which I didn't know was even possible. Anyway, but on the other hand, give me a perception check as you get a door slammed in your face.
Fair enough. Probably failed this one as well.
Give me a perception. Come on.
Yeah,
oh, look at that. You did fail.
Yeah, I told you.
So yes, you were left without a place to stay and without food. What do you do?
Fuck. I'll just go back to like around here, just set up a camp or something.
Okay.
I mean, remember, y'all do have 10 days of you do have 10. I'm assuming you had 10 days rations. I'm assuming.
Yeah, but rations don't exactly go stale, not for a long time.
No, that's
so
what I'm saying.
A lot of them are trying to get more fresher meats than the rest.
Rations are more like dry meat, so it won't go bad.
Well, dried
meat
I know that.
Bread. I know that's my point. So you actually do have something you could eat.
Yeah. But not like I'm willing to waste right now because we're at some nice place.
Yeah, I want to call it nice. Hoes are designed to plow things. Yes, they are.
Not to mention, I mean, rations are cheap. We can easily replace them. So,
Regardless. Actually, wait, let me pull up. There you go. So that way, anyone who's watching can actually see the fucking rules. So yeah, you just throw down your bedroll and set up camp. I'm assuming.
Why not?
Okay. So seeing as Gash decided to be a failure,
yeah, like all my other characters.
Dunlock.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing?
Actually,
you cut out a bit. What was that?
He doesn't have a tent, so he set up his bedroom.
Okay.
He actually well, okay. Oh, I need to rephrase my thought.
Relax.
He takes out like a little trinket from underneath his cloak, and like he holds it in his hand, and looks like he's praying.
Okay, give me a perception check while you're praying.
Okay. Oops. 15.
You hear a disturbance coming from the water. You know it's not the boat because the boat left while you guys were all people were off doing their own things, and while you were setting up camp. But you do hear a disturbance in the water.
Does it disrupt my prayer, or did I finish it?
It doesn't directly disrupt your prayer, but it does happen like towards the end of your prayer.
Okay, he finishes up his prayer, and he looks towards the water.
Give me a perception.
No, it's like his eyes advert, not like his head. 9.
They're kind of hard to miss.
Oh.
But you see a big old lizard boy.
I raise my brow beneath my mask. What is he doing in the water?
He appears to be walking out of it with several fish pierced with a blade and strung up on a rope hanging over his shoulder. And he's walking off.
With my actually it might not work.
Try it.
I was wondering, with my background, would I be able to assess what he is?
Sure, give me a history.
And that's not a fail.
17.
Oh,
You're
my cursed.
familiar with this race. Large, scaly bestial men, or bestial figures, bipedal, tribal in appearance, seeing as he's basically wearing nothing. Aside from
Kinky.
a simple loincloth and a few patches of fur that are now completely stuck to his skin or scales. With a bow and arrow both over his shoulder and walking away. This is a lizard folk.
No, I don't like those guys.
Like you.
I'm gonna make like a mental note of this, but obviously I'm not gonna engage or anything since I know what he is. I'm gonna keep my distance and, not try and get friendly, but, for future reference.
But yeah, let me look up what race he is really quick. Give me a second.
He's a lizard.
Lizard folk are usually lizard.
He's a type of rock lizard. For the reference.
And is that the mine that you're heading towards, just for player notice?
The mines are actually up here.
Oh, okay. Because that looks like a little mine right there. I'm not gonna lie.
Nope. Over here is just a simple. Well, actually, give me a perception check. Anyone that wants to actually look over there.
Well, I'm not. I'm sleeping.
Well,
Is
I'd
it
say-
next day all of a
It's more
sudden?
I
familiar
haven't,
than-
I haven't fallen asleep yet, so I can probably do a perception check.
12.
What was that, Chris?
Is it the next day or something?
No, I still have to work through Bianca, and then it can be the next day, unfortunately.
I haven't
Okay.
just
What?
slept fallen asleep yet, so I can do a perception check as well.
Yeah, that's the downside,
Well-
Chris. A lot of players, you know how slow
Yeah.
they get.
That's fine. Oh, the one thing I could
For
do it quick
fuck's
if
sake,
they,
this sucks!
What was
if
that,
the
Chris?
village doesn't have anything against it, could I do a survival check to make a small fishing trap and just kind of leave it in the river for the night?
Are you going to ask somebody for permission, or are you just going to do it?
I probably would have asked the meat shop people because he feels like they would know.
I'll say retroactively, they say they don't really have anything against fishing as long as you don't obstruct the boat lane.
All right. Yep.
And they tell you that the boat lane mainly is everything on the right side of the river. So basically,
Okay, so I could set up on the other side of the river and be fine.
yes, but you'd have to get to the other side of the river.
Okay. I'm 8 feet tall. How bad is this river?
I don't know. Why don't you go in and find out?
It's probably like...
Also, it depends where you cross.
I guess more specifically, I'm 8 feet tall and I'm 380 pounds. How bad is this river?
I
Well,
mean,
it depends where you're going to cross at.
considering I'm assuming pretty big boats.
He'd
can
probably
sail,
go
it
up
has
to the
be deep.
narrow part and cross up there.
So you're going to go over up here?
Yeah, just for the sakes of not getting himself unnecessarily immensely wet.
Up here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too big, but I do need you to make me a strength check just to be sure. Actually, no. Make it dex.
Really? Weird.
It's
Right.
a strong current, but you pass more or less. You managed to find your footing relatively easily with your big weird dog toes.
Claws?
Nah, you've got weird mix of human and dog foot.
No, I don't.
I know.
That shit.
They're big, long, and smelly. But they're perfect
Ew.
size for wrapping around a human penis.
Hey,
No, God.
Brian, he has penis on his feet.
Tiny
No.
penises on your feet.
Cease your bullshit.
Brian gets the reference.
The
That's
tiny pitter patter of your teddy bear feet.
Get your guys' gross fucking
It's Fallout reference.
foot
Dude.
fetishy bullshit
It's
out
a
of here.
Fallout reference.
It is a Fallout reference. It's New Vegas. Big mountain.
Camping over here.
Yep.
But yes, give me a
Right
perception
here, right
check
here.
as this fucking lizard dude comes out of the water, just without giving a shit about you.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, you do see him, so yeah, what are you going to do about it? Just ignore him? I'm sorry.
Is it wearing clothes?
No, it is naked as you.
Oh, wait, it might be food then.
Oh no!
So he readies his helmet, his hammer, because he just sees a lizard thing.
Okay. Let me see something really quick. What?
Or you're like gonna yell at him or something? Like, oh, lizard boy, what are you doing?
Nope, like I said, as long as he's concerned, it's just a lizard man, or a lizard man, or a lizard creature, like everything else he has eaten or worn around his waist. So he readies the hammer, gives the head of a little bit of spin, just licks his chops.
It turns and looks at you with a glare. What language do you speak?
Probably not whatever the fuck that was.
Lizarda.
Common, Guthrum, and Orc. That's it.
Okay, so not Draconic. Okay. And he actually sees you readying your weapon, so he's going to draw out his sword and dagger and take a step back.
You can probably just bludgeon him with your dick.
All right. Well, it's sentient enough to use weapons, so now he's just concerned what the hell it's doing, stalking around naked in the fucking river. So.
You want to make me?
Well, he doesn't really care about the naked part, but.
You want to give me an intelligence check to try and figure out what the fuck this is?
Yeah, well, it's not so much what it is, but
I'll
what
say
it's doing at this point.
Yeah, sure, intelligence or insight. You know that this is a lizard. This is basically what you are, only instead of a dog beast, it is a human. It's a lizard. And rather than breeding with a human, it's just a lizard. It is a very large, smart lizard that probably has the sentience of one of the common humans. And he looks kind of strong, actually.
Well, like I said, his main concern is what is he doing here? Does he appear to be robbing or trying to kill someone?
He has several fish over his shoulder strung up on a rope and a blade.
Okay, so he's a fisherman.
From what you can gather, yes.
Okay, well, he'll just stand down then, put the hammer back up on his shoulder, be slightly sad that it's not food, and then keep going.
Big dog. It simply says big dog, and then turns away and just walks off. That actually goes into the tent right here.
Yep, I just set myself up over here and use some of the local fauna to weave myself a little net that I can just leave in the water.
Sure, survival check.
Yeet.
How do you keep getting such amazing rolls?
Because I'm good at the things I'm good at.
13 isn't an amazing roll, but it's not a horrible
Yeah.
roll either.
It's
For
better
10.
than
what
I
he's
get.
trying to craft, it isn't too. It's not exactly easy to fuck up.
Oh yeah, true.
Although the
No.
bushes that you go into aren't exactly ideal, so it's not the best trap. But
Well, there's trees there, right?
yeah, but they're
I'd
not.
focus on using the bark fibers, not the
I'm
bushes.
trying to justify the low roll, man.
Right.
So, like, usually I'm not doubting your knowledge, I'm not doubting your character's knowledge, I'm just trying to make sense of the low roll. But yeah, unfortunately you don't exactly get the best material, but you do make one that is suitable.
Yep.
However, you suspect things like crawfish and smaller fish will easily slip through. But if there's any big fish, you're in luck.
Yeah,
Assuming it
well,
doesn't
as
break
long as
the
that's
cage.
fine. He doesn't want small shit anyway.
Yeah. Although small fish means bigger bait, more bait for bigger fish.
Just to be safe anyway, he'd probably just drive a couple sticks just a little ways behind the net, so that way if something does catch into it, it doesn't flex too much and rip.
All right. They're gonna have net with safety precautions. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you're setting up, actually, I'm going to do a check really quick. It's going to try and figure out what the fuck you're doing.
Who's doing?
Cool.
Damn. Our god turned into a giant lizard.
Give me a sec. Yeah, it just basically walks right up behind you and just looks down at your net. You're not good at getting food.
He just kind of looks up and narrows his eyes at him. The fact I'm still alive would say otherwise.
You are large, you are strong. I do not wish to kill or be killed today, but you are not good at getting food. You are a large dog.
Narrows his eyes again.
It just
think
stares
you
at you
miss-
blankly. You can insight me if you can insight him if you want.
Later that's like, I think you mistake the understanding of your own language. Not being as good at something is not the same as not being good at it.
He looks at your net and just kicks it. And just washes off into the ocean. And then he walks away. Walks back into his tent.
Ooh.
Are you trying to start something, Tim?
I think he is.
He'll get up and just whip the hammer up on his shoulder and walk over and kick down his tent.
As you do, he takes about a minute or two and comes out with a better looking net. As you're about to bring the hammer down, he just steps out with a net in his hand.
Well, it's a kick, but
Well, I'll say, for fun, I'll say that you kick his tent over just as he leaves with his net in his hand. So he just kind of blankly looks at his tent and then blankly looks at you. Why you do this?
Why you kick my net?
It was crap net. Not good for catching food. This is good for catching food.
So he's
Narrows his eyes. You need to work on your attitude.
What is an attitude? I'm going to say roll
It's
me
misrepresenting your intentions by kicking other people's property.
It looked more like sticks to me.
It was
You
a
can give-
brace.
I'm going to say roll an insight so I can at least give insight. I can give you some fucking hint as to why he's acting this way, please.
I know, it's because he's socially fucking...
Yes, I know,
He's
but
not
they
socially
don't know
smart.
that. But they don't know that, so I'd like for you to try and make this roll.
Oh, I kind of
What
figured
the
it
hell's
out
an
as a
insight
player,
check?
Insight.
Oh, there it
It's a
is.
skill.
Okay, skill. Yeah,
but- Oh,
This is one rude ass lizard.
that's a fucking rude ass lizard.
Anyway, he just basically offers you the net.
He kind
Use
of
nets.
takes it.
Use net, we split food. Catch much food with bait or net.
Very well.
Good. And then just walks away. Just goes back to
Rolls his eyes and just fucking sets up the net. He's still gonna brace it though. Again, it may be a bigger net, but he still doesn't want to get friggin' washed away, depending on how much gets caught in it. So.
It's actually like a nice solid it's got like it's a much stronger looking net.
If anything, now that he has a bigger net, he's probably going to intentionally use some small bits of meat to like just bait just behind the net,
Okay.
just to draw them into it.
You actually notice
Just
that his net actually does
tie
have
them
some
to the
weights.
sticks.
It actually does have a few weights that you can like move around on it, like hooked weights for it.
Yeah, yeah. You like I said, you tie them like to a brace, but you'd still want like rocks to hold the
I know,
net.
I'm just letting you
towards
know
the-
that it's a better quality net, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
Okay, just let you know.
But yeah, he'll set it up.
But yeah, he's
Yeah,
going to
bait
sit
it.
by the fire and first start up the fire without even bothering to set up his tent. You just
Yeah, so
went and
after-
kicked
After
him.
he gets the net set up, he'll feel bad for the socially dumb lizard and go put his tent back up.
He just kind of watches you work while he's starting a fire with his hands.
Apparently, they had someone over there who knew magic.
Does he? Is he just using like a fire bow or something?
Yes, actually is. He's doing a He appears to have taken the fire bow and added a rock to it, so it has a counterweight to it. So he's basically just
Yeah.
pushing on it like a fire drill style. Well, a
Yeah.
fire. Yeah, you know what I mean. Pump drill thing.
I'll just step over and like put a piece of char cloth in his little nest and take my skinning knife out just to flick a spark off a flint and do it.
You're good at making fire. You good
When
at
you
getting
eat a
food.
lot, you need to be able to cook quickly.
Wait, you actually cook your food? I would figure someone who looks like you probably.
He doesn't need
raw.
to, but it's more enjoyable.
Exactly. Finally, the two predators get it. You're not from here.
As far as I can tell, I'm not even from this realm.
You're a big wolf. I am Zixil.
I am Valgoth.
Big wolf.
Very well.
I just want to say above game, I have really been looking forward to playing this character. I've worked out all of your nicknames for when he meets you.
Let me just ask: did you take your autistic qualities and put them into this?
No, it's just socially inept, that's all.
Well, yeah, as most autists are.
Regardless, let's stay focused on this scene, then I'll answer questions about it during break.
Actually, I just realized what kind of a environment or area would you compare this place to? Is it like a wetlands? Is it temperate? Is it?
The current area, at least in here, seems to be a bit more temperate, but at one point you can tell it was very heavily forested, but they seem to have cleared most of that out. You suspect, based off of some signs up north, especially in this area and a little bit down here, that there's a marsh somewhere in this area.
So, but there are wetlands nearby. That's like
Yes.
the key word. Like,
Yes,
is it like a?
there are very much wetlands near somewhere.
When I say temperate or wetland, I mean like not the specific fauna. I'm talking about like the general weather and things like that. Like, is it humid and wet, or is it dry and things like that?
I'd say it's a bit dry.
Is it like the south? Is it like the north?
I'm just gonna say it's a bit drier. It's a dry heat.
It's a bit drier. Okay, so you're not gonna have
that's more out
catfish.
west.
It's a bit drier and yeah, it's dry. I didn't work out exactly the full ecology of things, unfortunately. So I'm going to say for right now it is dry.
And
Alright.
coarse
Which
and rough and
thinking-
gets everywhere.
Bitch.
Oh,
Bitch.
so you don't like sand either?
God damn it.
I actually hate sand.
Regardless, but you can probably piece together why he was in the water at that rate, given the last few days have been kind of dry, especially as you've approached this area.
Yep. So they wouldn't have catfish or anything like that, but just out of boredom and a desire to maximize his food intake, he's probably gonna, check the riverside for. Actually, no. You said this was high currents. No, crayfish wouldn't be around here either. Yeah, no. All I can really do is sit around then, maybe fry some bits of underbark and chew on it.
I would say what Zik, as he has introduced himself as Zixel, is doing is simply cooking the fish a little bit and then just throwing it down his gob.
Gob.
He's got a big old gob, yeah. I'm stuck being an orc right now, I apologise.
No, he'd basically there's actually what time of year is it?
I'd say
Spring or summer?
I'd say summer.
Summer.
I'd say late summer.
Okay.
How hot is it? How warm is it during the night?
Yeah.
It's warm enough that you could sleep above your sleeping mat. You could sleep on top of your sleeping bed if you really wanted to.
Okay.
It's too late in the year for eating bark, so he'd just like maybe find a few ferns to pull up and cut the roots off them, and munch on the legumes.
Sure, survival. If you actually want to do that.
Yeah.
Although, isn't that vegetation though?
Yeah, he can. He's omnivorous. It's just that for his muscle mass, he needs as much protein as possible, but he also just needs as much calories in general.
He spends
It's
much
just-
of his time at the male bathhouses.
his diet has to be like, well, not so much has to be, but is for continued muscle growth, it's suggested to be like at least 80% meats and proteins.
I'm gonna say while
So-
you're scavenging, he does comment, "You're very bad at finding food." As you pull up roots and just start eating them, he seems completely confused as to why you're doing so.
With a 19?
Yeah, he still found his roots, but Zixil does not consider that food.
Yeah.
You are very bad at finding food.
Things in the roots are good for your digestion and bowel movements.
He just swallows another fish. What you doing here?
Sleeping the night until helping with the village's problem. Tomorrow, I presume.
His problem.
Yes, with the mines.
Are they bad at finding food as you?
He's kind of narrows his eyes.
He just gives you a blank stare.
Just because other people eat differently than you does not mean they are bad at finding food.
Spoken like someone who's bad at finding food.
Spoken like someone who is bad at finding food for you.
Yes, that is all that matters.
To you.
Yes.
You live in a very small bubble.
What is... I not live in bubble, though. I live here.
I'm starting to wonder if you are indeed unintelligent enough to be food.
He simply blankly stares at you, unsure how to really respond. He just swallows another fish.
I've had similar comments with conversations with kobold. They have a similar flavor to snakes.
Kobolds are good food.
Relatively so, usually rather lean.
Swallows another one of his fish.
How many fucking fish does he have?
Enough. Enough for this scene to last.
And of course, he's probably swallowing it whole, head and
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, he just opens his mouth, puts the fish in, tilts his head back, and swallows.
Yeah, I
he
remember
has to
I
get
remember the
lowered.
encounter from your other game with the lizard person. So yeah, now they eat.
You mean Aquan? He's a turtle.
Well, no, that one was the one that was eating the pig was a snake. This is a lizard.
When?
On the stream that you missed, because you're a
Well,
bad
Steve,
girlfriend.
you saw part of it anyway.
'Cause you're a bad girlfriend.
He'll ask him for one of the fish. Don't worry, you'll still be eating it.
I do like food.
Yeah,
He's gonna look you over really quick, see if you have anything of interest. You give bones.
Like I said, you'll still be eating it. I'm not taking the fish from you.
But you're taking it from me.
Yes, and then I will return it to you, hopefully in a more flavorful manner. It's called a service.
He takes what appears to just be a young perch and hands it to you.
Yeah, just a small fish. He'll actually gut it and clean it. And seeing as this guy clearly doesn't seem to have any problem with eating the heads, and neither would he takes the fins and the tail off, but he leaves the head on. He'll just, in the slit in the middle, he'll sprinkle with a little bit of salt. That's all he really has on him, and you'll actually roast the thing.
Yeah, as you've been watching him, he's literally just been holding the fish over there for like a minute or two, and then just taking it off and throwing it down his throat.
Yep. He'll just carefully hand rotisserie it, hold the stick by either end, and just kind of
Are you using
rotate
his
it
power, by
around.
the way?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he's watching you.
And he's determined to be cooked enough to turn white, but not enough to lose its juice as you hand it to him. Chew this, don't swallow it.
He already had it in his mouth, and then you see his teeth extend from like his lip. And he just starts chewing on it without even swallowing, and he just like until he's chewed up the entire thing, and he still keeps chewing without swallowing.
Not the best seasoning as I've usually had available to me, but much better, is it not?
He's still just chewing it because you told him not to swallow it.
Oh. Swallow it after you've chewed it, of course. The intent is to taste it, not just ingest it.
It's good food. He comments, "This good food."
These are retarded.
A little bit of salt makes just about anything taste better.
Salt.
Watermelon.
Salt. He takes another fish and hands it to you. You have.
What time of night is it now then?
Yeah, he'll just hang out with him and keep cooking over the night. And if the lizard wishes to know, he can teach him how to sun dry seawater basically and try to get salt out of it.
I was gonna say no. He's actually giving you the fish to enjoy yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, like I said, he'll sit there and cook as much fish as he wants, and they can just share the meal, and they'll, probably eat more in the morning.
So, what you doing here?
Working.
Working.
It is when you do a service for somebody and they provide something to you.
I
Things
see you
like
working
food.
here now. I mean, what you doing here on island?
Well, I have more work.
Doing.
They want me to check a mine. They've been having accidents. Beyond that, I'm not certain. I presume after that, I will either hunt more food or find more work.
This sounds like a good plan. Food is always good. Mine is
It's
big hole up
verbal.
north, yes? Mine is big hole up north, yes?
I honestly didn't pay that much attention. I presume the rest of my compatriots will lead the way.
They small?
Quite.
They food?
Sadly not.
You sure?
As long as they don't bother me too much.
I like this plan. I'm glad everyone's enjoying him. I put a lot of work into it. You can end this scene anytime you want, Chris. I'm okay playing this guy for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Wild human has a similar flavor to boar.
I have many times good humans.
Oh my god.
Some of them fall off boats, never resurface.
I guess in some cases they brine themselves, don't they?
Yes. Do you actually laugh at your joke or no?
Yeah.
Alright, he just stares blankly and just goes, yes.
Yeah. They're
not very good at finding food.
Have you ever brined food? Like I said, he's just gonna blow this lizard's mind by like teaching him basic cooking methods.
So I'm going to assume that's what you two spend most of the night doing.
Pretty much.
Alright, we'll cut over to Avid, you still gone?
Avid is still gone.
Yeah, he left the thing, so.
Alright, I'm going to say that above game, this is a recruitable NPC for your mission.
Why do you say above game instead of saying just out of character?
Different context, different games. But yes, regardless, he doesn't care where you camp. He welcomes. He isn't opposed to you using his fire if you want. Fuck, I switched to the wrong thing. Give me a sec.
Wait, would it actually really be his fire considering?
Yeah, he made it. It's his fire.
Well, Valgoth is the one who started the fire, though.
His fire.
So it's his fire pit at the very least.
Yes, his fire pit. Yes.
My fire.
Fire as hot as armpit.
But yes. So where do you choose to stay? Right, for the record. Because you were going to sleep without fire, whereas if you were to stay there, you could have a.
I have the net set up there anyway, and again, it's sure as hell not cold. If anything, me sleeping near the fire would be too warm. So
Fair enough.
I'll stay near the net where I can, keep an eye on it as well as react to it if anything happens.
All right, so you're going to stay on your side of the thing, just making sure.
Yep.
Despite the net being over here.
After he's done eating and hanging out.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I was gonna bring the tent over to where my character's sitting at.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure.
I would have brought it over with me.
Let's put that on. There you go. It is best to rest. And he just goes in without saying anything else and just goes to bed.
Yep.
Do you actually peek inside of his tent, by the way? Or did you just
No,
kick it
he
over and
isn't
not
here.
look?
No, he kicked it over and he just picked it up. He doesn't really care about what's in it.
Okay.
It's a tent.
Alright. Yeah, you just hear the sound of something hitting water, and that's it. And while you guys are all sleeping, presumably, I will say it becomes the next day.
Woot.
Which means everyone mark off your rations for that day. So you don't have to do it later. Unless you choose to eat later in the day. It is your choice.
I'm gonna choose to eat the neck later.
Alright. Scotch, what about you?
Huh?
Eat now or eat later?
Probably just eat later in the morning so I can save my food.
Alright. Dunlock. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Fucking
Bitch.
girl, unmute your fucking mic.
Mick?
Yeah,
You mean Mike?
same fucking thing. Just how they.
Mike.
Not really, because you
No.
know Mick is actually a slur, right?
What it is?
It's a slur for an Irish person.
You fucking
should I
racist
know?
cunt.
How the fuck should I have known that? I never even
You
heard of them
fucking,
existing.
you fucking ignorant cunt.
I didn't know
It's
Irish people
also
were real.
it's also a short form for a drug reference.
Oh, it is?
For fuck's sake.
I didn't know that one.
There's I forgot exactly what it does, but there's something referred to as a Mickey.
Well, I mean, granted, I've heard of Mickey's.
I'll do
Yeah,
it for the
they're,
Mickey.
aren't Mickey's like roofies?
I think so. It's that or a variation of it, and yeah, you would
For
you
fuck's
said,
sake,
hey,
nobody
you
ever
got a
told
Mick,
me about
you know?
fucking
So-
Mick being a thing.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
only thing I've ever heard Mick is for Irishmen, and I know that because I'm part Irish.
Yeah, but Irishmen aren't real anyway.
Swedes
Are you
aren't
fucking
real.
kidding me? Are
you're
you?
gonna die in a fire.
Are you kidding me right now?
Oh, would you look at that? Fluffy lost his ability to talk. Ain't that a shame?
Did you mute him?
Oof.
No, he just muted somehow. I don't know. Very
Ah.
weird that, huh?
Mice.
Ain't that a shame? Gee, would you look at that? He just suddenly disappeared from the game too. That sucks. No, I'm not gonna be that asshole. I'm not a fucking little child of a
But I
cunt
mean-
that's going to take away a game from people or anything and make the other players and GMs buy it.
Yeah.
I'm not that big of an asshole.
I mean, Brutus, I kind of know. I kind of guess why I think that you would know. You would have thought of the drug instead of the slur first.
Yeah, well, it's a North American thing as well. So
Well, you are a cop though, so
No, he isn't.
no, I'm not.
I thought he was the cop.
No.
I just
You think
I
I'm
just
not
did like
kidding,
my
you retard?
Oh, I'm thinking
just
Auckland.
did-
That's right. My bad.
Yeah,
you
I
turned?
just did like my 3rd day of friggin' security.
Oh yeah, how'd that go,
And
by the way? Let's
My
check it out.
boyfriend's a cop.
What do you? Oh, no. Cop ain't really security ain't really cop. They're more rent-a-cops. But who do you provide security for? That's the question.
Your mother.
Is it like are you guarding like a?
multiple people? It's what it is it's a security contractor, and like different businesses like hire us to provide
Yeah.
security for them. So
Yeah.
so
like,
far I've done security for the Charlottetown Mall uptown, and then I've done we did security for the Christmas festival downtown here the last 2 nights.
Yeah, because I knew someone who worked as a security guard, and what she did was she actually worked at a like a factory. She guarded the factory at night, kind of thing. Oh, that's what I asked.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
Bianca's gone dark, so
She always does that.
usually she's well behaved on the fucking game.
And what's bad about it is like now in what 4 hours we got another game.
Yeah. So if you guys want to cut it here, I guess, with the night passing, so I have more time to prepare the actual mines.
Not to mention we don't
Okay.
know when what's his name's getting back. So
That too. And I figured you guys want to be at full strength. So yeah, I guess we can cut things here.
yeah,
I've got less.
I do
sleep,
know one thing.
So
If I notice little lizard man over there looking at me like I'm lunch, I'm gonna threaten to blow him up.
that's cool. They don't know what a threat is.
No, I will actually use magic to threaten him, to scare him with magic.
Yeah. When do you guys want to do next? Do you guys want to do the same time next week? Because next week I don't have the early game, to my knowledge.
Oh, you don't have your IRL game?
Yeah. So if you guys want to do 5 hours, am I doing my math right? 5 hours.
Like I've
Yeah,
told you,
I'd
I'm
say
pretty much
4
good
or
whenever.
5 hours ago from right now. You guys want to do that?
What?
God damn it, bitch!
There you are. You're back.
She jumps in
I wanted
just as
to
we're
make-
getting ready to end.
Oh, I want to go make something to eat.
Well, you could have told us.
Well, I thought you.
Anyway, you chill. We're deciding when we're meeting next. You guys want to do next week?
You mean next Sunday? Is that what you mean?
As far as I can tell on my schedule, I'm free again the same day next week, so
All right.
I'm gonna double check it here. I got a live feed on my schedule. So
Yeah.
As you know, as I've told you, I'm free any day.
Yes. So don't need to remind me. Oh yeah, I still have Fluffy muted.
Oh, by the way,
That's a shame.
Bianca, you know Fluffy tried saying the Irishmen aren't real.
I'm actually free Saturday and Sunday next week.
Yeah, I was
Well-
fucking joking with you.
But Sunday would be better because I get home at like 4 a.m. on Friday night. So
So Sunday this then? So
Yeah,
we're
why
all good
not?
for Sunday? Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright. So I'm gonna say Sunday at my time, Eastern Standard Time. 4:30 is when we'll start next week.
Okay.
Welcome to the game, boys. I hope everyone's enjoying
Yay.
themselves.
And now, in
I
about
can deal with this name. I like this
Either way.
name.
And about 4 or so hours, get ready for the next game. The fucking Golden Company.
I will probably be asleep by